Hello students, welcome to EC Academy Benefactor. So today let us continue the C programming topic. So the topic is variables in C. So what is a variable? So in C, a variable is a name for a memory location where data is stored and can be accessed when needed. So a memory location will be used where we store the data and access it when needed, but a name will be given. That name is called as a variable. So it lets us use the name instead of the actual memory location. Actual memory locations are denoted in hexadecimal format, but instead of using them, you can just use the name. The name can be any user defined name. We can also use the variable name in expressions to represent the value it holds. So in expressions also, we can use these variable names. So let us see the example. So first hash include stdio.h means it is the input output library that we use for in the program. So next is int main. So main is the function which tells us that the execution of the program. So start from here. So next is we do the variable declaration, that is int p semicolon. So integer, it is a data type. P is a user defined name. So user can define any type of name there. And semicolon, as we know, it has to be given to end that statement. So next we'll be storing the data, that is p equal to 39. So next we'll be printing that p and then we'll return 0. So the output we get as 39 as we have stored p in p 39. So next, what is the syntax of a variable? So in C, when you create a variable, you need to specify type and name. So the data type and variable name we have to specify. So the type determines how much memory the variable needs. So by the type, data type, we can say how much memory the variable needs. Like if it is an integer, it will require 4 bytes, like that. So you can create multiple variables in one line by separating them with comma. So data type v1 comma v2 v3 comma, like that. So with commas we can create multiple variables. So for example, like int v, it is an integer data type value we are storing here. So char c means it's a character type we are going to store, and float f means floating point number. So this is called defining a variable where you only name it but don't assign a value yet. So we are just naming it. We are just creating a space for that name. So but we are not assigning a value. To assign a value, we have to do initialization, that is variable name equal to value. So like like this, we are just initializing the p with 309. So you can define and assign the value in one step, like it is int data type variable name equal to value. So like like this also we can do in a single line instead of doing it in multiple lines. Okay, so the next is C variable naming convention. So how to write a variable name? So variable name can only contain letters, digits and underscores. Okay, so the next one is it must start with a letter or an underscore, not a digit. So next, no spaces are allowed in the variable name, that is white spaces should not be there. It cannot be a reserved word or keyword. So these are the rules. Then let us see the examples for them. Like underscore a. So we know that we can start with a letter or underscore. So this is a valid example. So a underscore bc. We can use underscore wherever in that variable name. So this is also a valid example. A12, as if we are starting with a letter, this is also valid. So a underscore 12. This is also a valid example. But new space where. So here it is an invalid example because as it contains white space. So 12 new where, that we are using this as starting with the digit. So this is invalid example. So for continuous switch, these are all keywords that are already reserved in the C language. So these all cannot be used as variable names. So this is an invalid example. So this is all about the variables in C. In the next video, we'll continue with the next topics. Thank you.